Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're embarking on a journey into the shadows, a place where history isn't just written in dusty books, but you feel it. It's whispered on the wind, felt in those unexplained chills.
Right.
We're talking about Alabama, the Yellowhammer State, famous for southern charm, natural beauty. But wow,
Yeah.
our sources really reveal it holds this remarkably dense concentration of, well, reportedly haunted locations.
That's absolutely right. For this deep dive, we've really sunk ourselves into a ton of sources. Historical accounts, detailed articles, eyewitness stuff, paranormal research.
All focused on Alabama's most chilling spots.
Exactly. And our mission isn't just to list these places. We want to extract the really compelling stories, understand the documented phenomena, and uncover the history behind it all.
Why these places?
Yeah, why these places feel so spectral. We want to give you a true shortcut, basically, to being well-informed on the supernatural side of Alabama. Go deeper than just the surface level.
Okay, let's unpack that, because what's immediately striking, looking at all this material, is how Alabama's past is just woven into these hauntings.
It really is.
It's way more than just random bumps in the night. There's a pattern. The sources keep connecting the state's deep, often kind of plagued past.
Plagued past is a good way to put it.
Yeah, European colonization, centuries of oppression, slavery, the Civil War, the civil rights struggles, connecting all that to this idea of restless souls. Souls that just refuse to find peace.
And what's compelling is how the sources explicitly link that history, often called fraught with stories of injustice, to why these spirits might stick around.
Makes sense somehow.
Well, the theory presented is that this kind of profound historical trauma, the suffering, the unresolved stuff, it creates an environment where, as one source put it, it makes perfect sense. Some souls refuse to be at peace and linger in order to trouble the living.
Wow, so the past isn't just remembered, it's active.
That's the idea, that it leaves these indelible, energetic imprints. Or, some argue, actual intelligent presences that are still interacting with us.
And that's exactly what we're aiming for in this deep dive, to unpack those specific stories. Look at the phenomena people report. Explore the historical details that give these hauntings their, unique character.
Right, using the sources directly.
Yeah, drawing straight from the material to shine a light on this darker, more enigmatic side of Alabama, trying to understand why these particular places have this reputation, what it tells us about human experience, maybe.
Okay.
So let's start our journey. Our first big theme: locations steeped in deep human suffering and, well, unfinished business. Places where intense suffering, injustice, or maybe just really strong personal attachments seem to have tethered spirits here, showing how the past really impacts the present.
And there's probably no more disturbing or well-documented place to start than Sloss Furnaces in Birmingham.
Sloss?
Yeah. Sloss Furnaces. It's a National Historic Landmark now, but wow, the history. A crucible of torment is how our sources describe it.
Built to exploit the mineral deposits, right?
Yeah.
Iron ore, coal.
Exactly. But the historical context is just horrific. The working conditions were unbelievably dangerous, inhumane.
How many people?
One source estimates at least 47 men officially died there. Hundreds more were severely injured. Just the environment, the demands.
Any blame?
Well, the sources point squarely to human greed endangering the lives of employees in the name of profit. It picks a really grim picture of exploitation.
That's a chilling stage. And then there's the foreman, James Slag Wormwood.
Oh, yeah. Slag. He sounds like something straight out of a nightmare, honestly. A personification of the cruelty of that era.
What do you do?
The sources call him a brutal foreman, a slave-driving tyrant, relentlessly pushed workers, refused breaks, no time off, even in dangerously high heat, just drove them.
And the legend around his death?
Yeah.
It's pretty gruesome.
It is. The story goes, workers were just so fed up, they maybe conspired against him.
And what happened?
Well, that's where there's a bit of debate in the sources. Did this slave-driving tyrant just slip and fall? Or did disgruntled workers, maybe living, maybe even dead, actually push him?
Pushed him where?
Into molten iron ore. Back in 1906. It's this moment of, dark justice, but also this lingering question mark.
Jeez.
But whatever happened, Slag Wormwood is definitely the most prominent ghost there now, the most terrifying one. Said to rule the place with the same iron fist.
Still giving orders?
Apparently. The phenomena reported are incredibly vivid, often violent. People hear agonized screams, like those attributed to Richard Bowers, who tragically slipped into molten steel.
Oh, awful.
And Slag's own brutal howling, his harsh orders. People still reportedly hear them at night, echoing from the second story, like his reign just never ended.
But it's not just sounds, right? People have felt things.
Oh, yeah. Direct physical interaction. Back in 1926, a night watchman said he was violently pushed by something unseen and told in this terrifying voice, "Get back to work."
Get back to work.
Yeah. Then, 1947, 3 supervisors were found completely knocked out on the boiler room floor.
Knocked out.
Yeah. When they came to, they described encountering this angry man, horrific burns all over him, demanding they get back to work.
Wow. So it's not just echoes. It feels interactive. Intelligent.
And it gets even more unsettling, really pushing the boundaries. In 1971, another night watchman, Samuel Blumenthal, he described this terrifying encounter, called it a half-man, half-demon.
Half-man, half-demon.
That's what he said. Claimed it tried to physically push him up the stairs. When he resisted, he said the entity started beating him.
Beating him.
And apparently he later had severe burns where the blows had fallen.
Burns. From a ghost.
That's the report. The sheer violence, the directness. It really sets Sloss apart. Our sources mention police calls for unexplained stuff there happen pretty often.
Especially certain times of year.
Yeah, they say activity peaks in September and October, but, lots of enthusiasts and former employees insist it's real, year-round stuff, not just seasonal spooks for Halloween tours.
This isn't just a ghost story, it feels like. Like, the cruelty itself is echoing.
Exactly. The demands get back to work, the physical stuff, the orders. It mirrors the exploitation, Wormwood's tyranny.
So, is it just residual energy? Or are these actual entities still carrying out those injustices?
That's the big question, isn't it? Sloss seems to embody both. It's this visceral reminder that the suffering inflicted for profit, it can echo way beyond the grave, actively impacting people now.
A really disturbing idea.
Yeah.
That the suffering extends beyond death. Makes the place a monument to its dark past.
Definitely.
Okay, so from that kind of industrial horror, let's shift focus. The Jemison Center, also known as the Old Bryce Hospital.
Right.
A very different kind of suffering, but equally disturbing.
This one really hits that theme of inhumane living conditions, but with this particularly insidious layer built during segregation.
Supposedly an insane asylum.
Supposedly. But the sources reveal the reality was much darker. Basically, able-bodied African Americans who had been admitted into the hospital were forced into slave labor.
Slave labor. In a hospital.
Working the fields around the facility.
Here.
Exploited for free labor, disguised as mental health care. It didn't close until 1977 because of desegregation laws finally catching up.
That's appalling. A place meant for care, used for exploitation.
Exactly. A concentrated site of human misery. And the phenomena reported there. Chilling, disembodied voices, doors slamming shut on their own, the sound of footsteps in empty halls.
And the sources connect this directly to the past.
They don't mince words. They attribute the activity to years of abuse and inhumane living conditions, leaving many angry souls behind. Call it one of the scariest abandoned places in Alabama.
It really underscores how historical cruelty, real human cruelty, leaves a mark.
Absolutely. The suffering wasn't just individual, it was systemic, institutionalized. So it's maybe not surprising the sources suggest it imprinted itself on the building, the ground.
Like the trapped emotions are still resonating.
That's the feeling you get from the accounts. A stark reminder that places of deep injustice often carry these echoes long after they fall apart.
And speaking of injustice, the Pickens County Courthouse in Carrollton. This story is almost iconic. A quest for justice from beyond the grave.
Yeah, this one really emphasizes that idea of a soul unable to rest until a wrong is righted.
What's the core story there?
The heart of the haunting, according to the sources, is this tragic tale of a man wrongly accused, tried, and then lynched.
Oh.
And the belief is his spirit is still there in the courthouse, maybe searching for the vindication he never got in life.
And isn't there something about a window?
Yes. The legend is incredibly specific. After his lynching, they say a flash of lightning imprinted his face onto a courthouse window pane, a permanent spectral witness to his unjust fate. You can supposedly still see it.
Wow. And what do visitors feel or hear inside, sensing that plea for justice?
People share stories of hearing mysterious sounds, unexplained whispers, feeling this distinct, often kind of sad, ghostly presence.
So the injustice was just too much.
The implication is exactly that. It was so profound, so deeply scarring, it prevents his soul from finding peace, anchors him to the very place his fate was sealed. It's a powerful story, whether you believe it literally or not, about the weight of truth and justice. Some wrongs just can't be forgotten.
Okay, let's shift gears a bit. Moving from places defined by suffering and injustice, let's look at locations where spirits seem to remain because of lingering attachments.
Right. Strong emotional ties, home, family, maybe even duty.
These feel more personal, sometimes really poignant. First up, Nancy's Mountain Trail in Haines Island Park, Franklin. This one is just heartbreaking.
It really is. An enduring legend speaks to the deepest family bonds. The story is about Nancy, a mother whose son went off to the Civil War.
He didn't come back.
Fell in battle, his body never recovered, and Nancy... Well, the sources say she was consumed by this unbearable grief, couldn't accept it. She picked up a lantern and left to go walk the trails in search of him.
Searching for him.
Relentlessly, desperately, continued doing it until she herself died.
Oh, that image. A mother with a lantern, forever searching. And people still see her.
That's the claim. Visitors to Lookout Mountain say they see a woman holding a lantern hiking the mountain to this very day, especially around dusk or early morning.
Wow.
It's this powerful, mournful image, the idea that not even death could stop her from searching for her lost son. It just speaks volumes about maternal love, about grief, resonates deeply.
Absolutely. Okay, next. The Drish House in Tuscaloosa.
Wow.
A grand old home. But the reason for the haunting is specific. A bit particular, maybe.
Yeah, a bit. The Drish House, built back in 1835 by Dr. John R. Drish. Sources describe him as a character, a gambler and a drunk.
He built it for his wife.
For his new bride, Sarah. He himself met a rather undignified end, apparently drunkenly tumbled over the stairway and died.
Oh, dear. So it's his ghost.
Actually, no. That's the twist. It isn't Dr. Drish haunting the place. It's Sarah.
Sarah? Why is she still there? What's keeping her spirit tied to the house?
Well, according to our sources, it's believed Sarah's spirit lingers because her family failed to honor her funerary wishes after she died in 1884.
Funeral wishes, like what?
The sources don't detail the specifics, but she apparently had very clear instructions for her burial. They weren't followed. And ever since, she's been causing trouble.
Causing trouble how?
Well, visitors are even encouraged to look up at the third-story tower where the famous fire broke out and see if you can catch a glimpse of the lady of the house.
A fire? You think she caused it?
Some speculate maybe her spectral frustrations boiled over. It raises this interesting question, you know. What is it about unfulfilled wishes or feeling disrespected even after death that could bind a soul so tightly? An unsettling thought. Personal grievances transcending the grave.
Okay. From personal grief and unfulfilled wishes, let's go to a place with many layers. Sweetwater Mansion in Florence. This sounds less like one ghost, more like a historical haunting buffet.
That's a good way to put it. Sweetwater Mansion, designed by General John Bronhan, a war veteran. Originally part of this huge 4,000-acre estate. Later occupied by his son-in-law, Robert Patton.
And the history is dense.
Incredibly dense, incredibly varied, perfect ground for multiple spirits. The basement alone was used as a Civil War hospital. Think of the suffering there. And a county jail.
A hospital and jail. Wow.
And maybe the most intriguing part, persistent rumors that someone who lived there used one of the upper rooms to practice dark magic.
Dark magic. Seriously.
Adds this whole occult layer to its already packed history.
So, family home, hospital, jail, maybe dark magic. No wonder the sources call it among the most haunted places in Alabama.
Lots of different apparitions reported.
Many different ones. The accounts are really varied. One caretaker claims seeing a casket containing the body of a Confederate soldier in one of the downstairs rooms.
The casket.
Yeah, just appeared, then vanished moments later. Which actually makes sense because General Patton's funeral was held there, so maybe a residual memory.
Right.
Or an intelligent replay.
Creepy. What else? There's this specific room in the property where female visitors are regularly locked inside.
Locked in by themselves.
Apparently, it terrified one former caretaker, Mrs. Emmett Letty Region, so much that she refused to go in most of the house.
Yeah.
Lived in only 2 rooms for the rest of her time there, just out of fear of that locking room.
I don't blame her.
And then there's the mysterious secret room. No door, only accessible through this small interior window. And chilling rumors that 2 sons of a former owner were buried under the floor in there.
Buried in the room? Oh my God.
Yeah. The sheer buildup of history, different uses, intense personal tragedies, it clearly creates this incredibly active haunting at Sweetwater. The past isn't just remembered there. It feels like it's being actively relived, each era leaving its own ghost.
Now, while some spirits are tied by love or wishes, others seem darker. Let's talk about the King Criswell Garrett home in Monroe County. This one sounds like it has a genuinely malevolent presence.
Yeah. Yeah, this moves beyond just lingering to actively threatening. This impressive home, built in the late 1850s by William Dot King, nephew of Alabama's only U.S. vice president.
Big plantation home.
Huge facade, yeah. Original plans were even grander, but the Civil War scaled them back. Still boasts the broadest facade of an Alabama plantation home. Really imposing. And it's got notoriety. It was featured on the Dead Files.
Ah, okay. So what's the core haunting? What makes it so terrifying?
A former private owner made these really chilling claims. Said an evil entity was attacking her, and she feared for her life.
Attacking her? Physically?
The implication is yes, or at least creating that level of intense fear and threat.
Yeah.
This is really terrifying. Moving beyond just, strange noises or sightings into something genuinely dangerous.
A malevolent entity.
Yeah, actively threatening the living. Not just a presence, but a conscious, harmful force. It implies some entities aren't content to just exist. They want to disturb, maybe even harm. That's probably the most unsettling kind of haunting.
Definitely. Okay, let's take a breath. For a delightful counterpoint, Lucas Tavern in Montgomery. This sounds much friendlier, maybe even helpful.
Indeed. A nice shift. Lucas Tavern is part of Old Alabama Town, this wonderful collection of preserved historic buildings, a real link to the past. Eliza Lucas was the original proprietor, clearly took pride in her place.
And she's the friendly ghost.
Unequivocally described that way in the sources. A benign, even benevolent spectral resident.
So what does a friendly ghost like Eliza Lucas do? How does she make herself known?
She's quite active, but in this very cordial way. People report seeing her appears dressed in Victorian dress at the front porch and wave as people pass by.
Like a welcoming hostess.
Exactly, like she never left her post. She also reportedly supervises committee meetings. And likes to remind old Alabama Town committee members to behave like proper Southern ladies and gentlemen. A spectral etiquette coach.
That's amazing.
And my favorite part, maybe a bit mischievous, she has been known to take doors off their hinges if they're not minding their own business.
Takes doors off hinges. Wow, that's kind of intense for a friendly ghost.
Right. But it's presented as more corrective than harmful. It's a wonderful contrast to the darker stuff. Shows a spirit still maintaining order, welcoming guests, maybe gently nudging the living. Not all unfinished business is tragic. Sometimes it's just continued devotion.
Okay, let's broaden our scope again. From these personal, often tragic stories, let's move to locations where collective history and grand structures create a different kind of echo.
Right, large-scale sites. Many lives lived, fought, ended there, leaving this collective imprint.
We'll start with the huge Maple Hill Cemetery in Huntsville.
Maple Hill. Founded way back in 1822, it's massive. The oldest and largest burial ground in the state, grew from just 2 acres to 100 acres.
How many people are buried there?
Sources say over 80,000 souls. Just imagine the sheer volume of history, stories, lives contained in that ground. It's staggering. Creates this profound resonance.
And within this huge city of the dead, there are specific famous hauntings. Tell us about Mary Bibb in the Dead Children's Playground.
Right. Mary Bibb is described as a much beloved ghost. Really gentle, interactive haunting. People say if you knock gently on her mausoleum wall, she'll reply with, the gentle creak of the rocking chair buried with her inside.
No way. That's incredible. Poignant, like she's still there enjoying company.
Exactly. And then there's Maple Hill Park, often called the Dead Children's Playground.
Why that name?
Because sources claim many visitors have seen the children buried nearby playing at the park once the sun goes down. They even report hearing their laughter carried by the evening wind.
Oh, wow. Playful ghosts.
Yeah, the sheer amount of history here makes both the playful stuff and the responsive ghosts like Mary Bibb really poignant. It feels like a vibrant spectral community almost, where the past just continues in its own way. Even childhood joy persists after death, it seems.
Okay, from a cemetery where spirits might play, let's turn to a place of duty and conflict. Fort Morgan on the coast.
Fort Morgan. Really imposing, historically vital. Finished in 1834, Mobile's main line of defense during the Civil War saw heavy action, and soldiers used it for over a century.
Steeped in military history, sacrifice, conflict.
Deeply. And the general activity reported reflects that. People see spectral orbs in photos, hear distinct disembodied footsteps in empty corridors. Some even feel the unsettling touch of cold fingertips.
Cold fingertips. Yikes. And the old barracks are supposedly extra haunted.
Yes, consistently cited as the most haunted spaces, probably due to the intense lives lived and lost within those walls. There's one particularly sad story of a prisoner who hung himself in the barracks in the early 1900s.
And people still hear him.
His despairing crying is still reportedly heard there. But there's also this striking female apparition, which is unusual given it was mostly men there.
A woman. Who was she?
Sources say she's the most commonly seen apparition. A young woman attacked sometime in the 1800s. She traverses the grounds, apparently still searching for her attacker.
Never found.
Another source specifies she was beaten to death by unknown male attackers that have never been caught. Adds that layer of unresolved injustice.
And soldiers, too.
Oh, yeah, as you'd expect. Ghostly soldiers reportedly seen patrolling, still on duty, maybe. Their commitment echoing. It's a complex spectral tapestry there. Wartime duty, personal tragedies, unsolved crimes, all within those formidable walls.
Okay, if a fort is a contained environment, what about a literal floating battlefield? The USS Alabama BB-60 in Mobile.
Now that is a unique haunted location. The USS Alabama, this massive 680-foot-long ship, a battleship completed in 1942.
Saw action in WWII.
It did, but here's the poignant part the sources highlight. It served 3 years without any fatalities from enemy fire. Yet, ironically, it had numerous deaths caused by friendly fire.
Friendly fire? Oh, no.
Yeah. One incident, 8 men died due to a gun safety feature failing. 2 men died during construction, too. These unexpected internal tragedies. They lay a really somber foundation for spirits.
Definitely. So what happens on board this floating monument? What do people report?
A lot. Visitors report footsteps coming towards them when nobody is there. Classic unseen movement. Apparitions spotted in the officers' quarters and the cook's galley. Maybe places where daily life and sudden death intersected.
Any noises?
Late at night, people describe these inexplicable popping and tapping noises in the bulkheads, and solid steel hatches have been known to slam shut on their own. Creates this really unnerving atmosphere, unseen forces at work.
Do people feel things too?
There's this pervasive feeling of being watched. And one woman reported having her earrings tugged as she passed the sleeping quarters.
Whoa. Physically touched.
Apparently, it's this confined space where the lives and deaths of the crew, especially those tragic losses, seem to echo intensely. Being touched by something unseen on a battleship, that's particularly chilling. A reminder that even these huge machines hold human imprints.
Okay, from a ship to an entire city. Old Kawa. The ghost town.
Right. Not just a few haunted buildings, but an entire abandoned capital, frozen in time.
It was the capital. What happened?
It was Alabama's first permanent state capital. Thriving hub, but tragically abandoned after the Civil War due to terrible flooding. Just kept getting inundated, destroyed the infrastructure, became unsustainable.
So people just left?
Pretty much. By 1876, most buildings were dismantled or just left to decay. Officially unincorporated in 1989. Now it's a historical site, but only 2 abandoned buildings standing. Plus ruins, cemeteries, a church.
And ghosts.
Well, there's one quirky detail first. It was apparently the site of Alabama's first ever air-conditioned home.
In a ghost town.
Kind of funny, right? But yes, as for ghosts, the reports paint this picture of a subtly active but really eerie spectral landscape.
What did people experience?
Disembodied voices, the sounds of children laughing, haunting echoes of the community that was once there. General ghostly sightings, too, fleeting shadows, glimpses of figures, eerie, unexplained sounds. It feels like the spirits of the old town are still wandering among the crumbling buildings.
Does technology act weird there?
Sources mention cell service gets spotty when you cross into this ghost town. A small thing, but adds to that isolated, cut-off feeling, like crossing a veil into another time. It really feels like a city frozen, its former residents still echoing. A ghost town in the most literal sense.
All right, let's check into some haunted hotels and other grand structures now. Places where life goes on, but spectral guests remain. First, the St. James Hotel in Selma. Outlaws and history checking in, and maybe never checking out.
The St. James is a landmark, a luxury establishment, one of the oldest and longest-running operating hotels in the state. Its history is just deeply tangled with Alabama's past, hosted plantation owners, outlaws, pivotal Civil War moments.
And something about a black congressman.
Remarkably, yes, it was the first hotel operated by a black congressman. Another huge layer to its story. It closed in the late 1800s, but thankfully reopened in 1997 after restoration.
So who were the guests who overstayed their welcome, the famous specters?
People consistently report seeing 3 routine specters, a ghostly trio.
Who are they?
The famous outlaw Jesse James, reportedly seen sporting cowboy spurs, sitting alone at the bar, and heading to his favorite rooms.
Jesse James at the bar. That's amazing.
Isn't it? And apparently his girlfriend is seen too, along with his dog.
A whole gang.
Pretty much, but maybe the best story, the favorite recorded paranormal event a psychic research team was investigating, asked the classic, "Is anyone there?" into their recorder.
And
On playback, they reportedly heard a clear, older man's voice respond, "Well, that's a stupid question."
a sassy ghost.
Incredibly direct, almost dismissive and weirdly witty. Other reports mention general ghostly figures and mysterious sounds, but the idea of staying where historical figures might still hang out, plus that kind of direct communication, makes it really unique.
Okay, from a hotel with famous ghosts to a dinner house where the past is dining right alongside you. Gaines Ridge Dinner House in Camden.
Right, this antebellum home has been serving diners since 1985, and the sources are explicit. Step inside, the beautifully decorated interior leaves no doubt whether the home is haunted or not. The whole place feels like it never left the past behind.
So the atmosphere itself is haunted.
It's designed to transport you, but apparently the past comes along for the ride. But what really stands out here are the owner's own experiences.
The owner talks about it.
Exactly. Betty Kennedy is open about her ghost truths, which are her own first-hand experiences, lends this layer of credibility.
What does she and visitors report?
They echo each other. Encountering ghostly figures, unexplained happenings like objects moving, cold spots, feeling that distinct chill, creates this palpable sense that the past is dining alongside you. It's this unique blend of food and first-hand supernatural accounts, moves beyond folklore to direct testimony.
Back to Birmingham now. The Redmont Hotel. Newly renovated, but apparently the old guests haven't left.
The Redmonts, a landmark, opened way back in 1925. Bought by Mr. Clifford Stiles in the 40s, and his name comes up a lot with the haunting. It's on the National Register for Historic Places.
And the renovations didn't scare the ghosts away?
Apparently not. Despite being newly renovated and sleek, it's always been known as one of the oldest and most haunted places in Birmingham. And Mr. Clifford Stiles, he's described as one of the friendly hotel haunts.
A friendly one. That's a nice change. What does Mr. Stiles get up to?
The reports are quite varied, almost playful. Guests report doors opening and closing on their own. Finding their luggage has mysteriously moved places in the room.
Moving luggage.
Yeah, furniture moving slightly, and even clear apparitions of Mr. Stiles himself.
So he's just hanging out.
Seems like it. It suggests a comfort with the living, a continued enjoyment of his hotel, rather than torment. It's like a spectral welcome, not a warning. Shows that even modern updates can't deter some spirits.
Okay, let's leave the hotels and head to academia. University of Montevallo. Students getting an education, and maybe some ghostly encounters.
Absolutely. Montevallo, founded back in 1890, it's not just about learning. It's known for spectral activity, too. The old buildings, the long history, it all contributes to its reputation for ghostly encounters.
What do students report, especially in the older dorms?
Yeah, places like Main Hall or Block Hall, students often report strange things, more than just shadows. Unexplained, mysterious footsteps in empty corridors late at night, glimpses of ghostly apparitions in windows, objects moving.
Any specific stories?
One really well-known, tragic one is the ghost of Condi Cunningham, a former student who died in a dorm fire in 1908.
Oh, how sad. And she's still seen.
Her spirit is said to roam, especially near where the fire happened. Sometimes manifests as a cold spot, a faint smell of smoke, or the sound of a woman crying.
Wow. It suggests even places of learning hold onto that raw human experience, that loss.
Exactly. It's this intriguing blend. Intellectual pursuit meeting the unexplained mysteries of the unknown.
And from college campuses to military ones. Marion Military Institute, where discipline might just extend beyond life.
That's the feeling. This institute has a long history, training cadets for generations, and it's definitely rumored to be haunted.
By who? Former cadets.
That's the idea. Students and visitors share stories of seeing shadowy figures in hallways or just at the edge of their vision, experiencing strange occurrences that defy easy explanation.
And the interpretation is?
Often that the spirits of cadets from the past are still keeping watch, maintaining post-mortem vigilance, like they're still on duty, committed to the institute. It's this unique mix of military precision and the supernatural.
Now for something a bit different. Gadsden Cultural Arts Center, an old building now used for art, creativity with a chilling edge.
Yeah, it's interesting. This historic building, now a vibrant arts center, has somehow gained a reputation for paranormal activity. Seems the past residents, or maybe visitors, still appreciate the space.
What happens there?
Visitors consistently report hearing footsteps when no one is around, like invisible patrons walking the halls, and catching whispers in the air when no one's talking.
Hardened ghosts.
It's an unexpected intersection. Suggests the echoes of the past can permeate even places dedicated to modern creativity. Adds a layer of mystery to the whole experience there.
Okay, last one in this category of grand structures. Cedarhurst Mansion in Huntsville. Elegance meets eeriness.
Cedarhurst is described as just fancy, picturesque, a really grand mansion. Pure elegance from its era.
But haunted.
But yes, said to be haunted by ghostly apparitions and unexplained events. Visitors share stories of strange occurrences that add a touch of spookiness to its elegance.
Like what kind of things?
Reports range from just fleeting glimpses of figures, maybe in period clothing, to objects subtly shifting, unexplained sounds in the stately rooms. It's as if the past is still unfolding within its walls.
So the beauty contrasts with the creepiness.
Exactly. That's the fascinating dichotomy. The grandeur of history subtly underscored by its spectral residents.
All right, final category as we wrap up. This one's really fascinating. Nature's unconventional haunts.
Yeah, places where the natural environment itself or specific things in it are considered haunted. Challenges our usual ideas of where ghosts hang out.
First, the Boynton Oak in Mobile. This is unique. A tree as proof.
It's an incredible story. This southern live oak is said to have grown right from the grave of Charles Boynton in a potter's field.
Who was he?
He was executed back in 1835 for murder, but he maintained his innocence right to the end, made this dramatic claim, almost a prophecy.
What did he say?
That when they buried him, a tree would spring forth from his grave as proof of his innocence.
And it did.
And remarkably, the sources confirm, a tree did sprout from his grave. It stands there today, a living monument to his dying words.
That is powerful. And is his ghost seen there?
Yes. Boynton's spirit can be seen from time to time sitting under his tree, almost like he's waiting for the world to finally believe him, finding solace under the symbol of his declaration.
So nature itself is the monument and the companion.
Exactly. A really unusual, powerful connection between the natural world and the supernatural. It really makes you think about where consciousness can linger.
From a prophetic tree to a more classic setting, but still natural. Base Cemetery in Irondale. Wooded Restless Souls. Sounds perfectly spooky.
Base Cemetery is definitely the quintessential eerie graveyard, literally tucked away in the woods. And yeah, as you'd expect, it's believed to be haunted by restless spirits, souls not quite at peace.
What do people experience there?
A whole chilling range. Strange sounds echoing through the trees, whispers, rustlings you can't place, seeing shadowy figures darting between the tombstones. It feels like the past is reaching out.
Classic spooky cemetery.
It really invokes that image. The isolation makes it feel even more eerie, more active, like the veil is thin there.
And then there's Bear Creek Swamp in Prattville. Swamps are creepy anyway.
Oh, yeah. Sources even note swamps are usually pretty creepy at the best of times. Murky water, tangled plants, silence.
But this one has specific weird stories.
Lots of them. Known for many weird stories. Sightings of phantom cars appearing and vanishing. Strange glowing orbs of lights drifting in the dark. And this chilling 4-foot-tall apparition that appears in front of vehicles.
Bars.
Apparently causes drivers to slam on their brakes. But maybe the most chilling is the ghost of a mother.
A mother.
Yeah, haunted by the ghost of a mother in search of her lost child. This perpetual, desperate quest through the swamp.
Oh, that's heartbreak. And there's an urban legend tied to her. A dangerous one.
There is. Very unsettling. The legend says, if you drive through there and you say, "We have your baby," 3 times.
Oh, don't do that.
Exactly. The legend claims she will attack you. Naturally, few people relish the thought of driving through the area after dark. It turns the natural eeriness into genuine dread.
Wow. Maternal grief turned potentially malevolent.
It combines that visceral fear of the swamp with this active, potentially dangerous haunting tied to profound grief. A potent mix. A reminder not to taunt some entities.
Definitely not. Okay, finally, in Nature's Haunts, Crybaby Hollow in Saraland. Just the name.
Yeah, it tells you a lot. A place marked by a child's lingering, heartbreaking lament.
What's the legend?
A mysterious legend tells of the ghost of a crying baby haunts the area, making it both sad and spooky. It feels particularly vulnerable, poignant.
And people hear it.
Consistently. Visitors report hearing the distinct sound of a baby crying, even when there's no baby in sight, creates this mysterious lullaby playing in the air, contributes to the eerie atmosphere.
Oh, that's just profoundly sad.
It really is. The vulnerability evoked by an infant's ghost, it's uniquely heartbreaking. A deep emotional imprint that resonates, this lingering echo of lost innocence.
So we've covered an incredible range across Alabama, from Sloss furnaces, the crucible of torment,
Right, to homes like the Drish House with those personal attachments, unfulfilled wishes.
to huge collective sites like Maple Hill Cemetery, Fort Morgan.
And even into nature itself, the Boynton Oak, Bear Creek Swamp, places where the environment holds the haunting.
It's quite a spectrum.
It really is. And whether you believe in ghosts literally or not, these stories pulled from all these sources, they offer this powerful, often unsettling way to look at Alabama's complex history.
You really see the injustices, the tragedies.
But also the profound love, the grief, the strong, unresolved emotions that shape the place. These aren't just spooky tales. They feel like a form of living history, kept alive by eyewitness accounts, local legends, the phenomena people still report.
What's fascinating is how these different hauntings, from a brutal foreman to a crying baby, a fort to a mansion, they seem to share this underlying thread.
What do you see as the thread?
They're all echoes of lives lived with intense emotion, often ending in tragedy, injustice, unfulfilled desires. They don't feel random. They feel like testament to the sheer weight of the past.
A past that insists on being remembered.
Yeah, and sometimes actively participates in the present. Makes you really wonder about memory itself, how it can manifest physically.
And that leads to a really provocative question for you, our listener, to think about after this deep dive. What might these lingering presences, these spectral echoes across Alabama, actually be trying to tell us?
Are they just energy imprints, replaying intense moments?
Or are they something more? Intelligent entities trying to communicate, resolve unfinished business, maybe even influence the living?
And what does it say about us, about humanity? Our need to right wrongs, express love, grieve, finish tasks, that these feelings could potentially manifest so powerfully beyond death, leaving such a profound impact on the physical world.
It's a lot to think about.
Definitely a thought-provoking way to end our deep dive into Alabama's spectral echoes. Thank you so much for joining us on this chilling and illuminating journey through the Yellowhammer State's most haunted corners.
We hope you feel well informed now on its supernatural side.
And maybe just a little more curious about the unseen stories that might be lingering all around us, just waiting to be heard.